Hello everybody, welcome to this video where I want to explain you how to install the exercises and examples that we are gonna see during the lectures of the course Advanced Programming of Scientific Computing. The first thing that I will suggest you to do is to have an account on GitHub if you don't have it already. To have to open an account in GitHub, you have to go to github.com and then sign up. It it will request an email and so and so. I will not continue because I already have an account on GitHub, so I cannot now make a new one. But you just follow the instructions, and is quite simple. It's a standard site where you just have to type your email, give the information. Maybe they will ask you to install a little app on your computer if you activate the two-way verification. But eventually, what you will have a account on GitHub. And in particular, if you look for PAX examples, if you search here for PAX examples, you should land on this page. In fact, you don't need that because on the slide I'm going to present, I have presented as lecture, you have the full address of the Git repo with examples for the PAX course. But anyway, if you go to this page, you find everything here. And now I will suggest you to do one thing to make life simpler. Also, when you will use GitHub for your project, for the project of your course, to exchange code with possible collaborators, it is much simpler, even if not compulsory, to add your keys SSH to your profile. If you go to your profile, this is my profile, you can change things, and you have an overview. Here, this is the overview, of course, of my stuff, and you should have the possibility of here going into setting to, here it is, add your SSH keys. You see here, you can add an SSH key. To add an SSH key, you have to produce an SSH key. Okay, and to produce an SSH key, you go to your home directory of your Linux box. Okay, and of course you can do it also in Windows. SSH, but I don't know in Windows exactly what you have to do. You do SSH keygen. Okay, keygen means generate some keys, and it will tell you where you want to save the key. You just press return, it's fine, and then a passphrase that will be used to the keys will be stored in your computer. Your private key will be stored in the computer encrypted. So you have to give a passphrase to decrypt it. Let's put PAX. Just PAX. Okay. Now you have your keys. Where are the keys? The keys are in the SSH folder. .ssh is a hidden folder. Okay. .ssh, and you find that there are two keys. One that has got the extension public, and one that has got no extension. The one without the extension, you should leave it there and don't touch it. The one you have to put in your Git account is this one, the pub. Okay, so you can, for instance, put it on the screen as you want, cut and paste. Remember not to cut everything up to the last point. You cut and then you paste it. Okay? Let's add another key. Okay, we'll ask you to confirm the password because I will make sure that you are the person that is adding the key. And now I have my key, the one of my username and the one of this other user of my system that is called Pax. Okay? Why I'm telling you of doing that? Because if you do that, you are really making things easier. Because if you have an SSH key in your system, sorry, I want to go back to uh, my Pax example. Okay, um, if you do that, to have the Pax examples on your computer, a copy of the Git repo, you just have to do that. You choose SSH as a protocol because you have loaded the SSH keys, so you can use it. You get the address, and then you do. Now, let's suppose that you want to put everything on a certain directory, and then you do git clone, and you repeat the address. Sorry, you have to do git clone minus minus recursive. Okay? Okay. The first time, only the first time, it will ask you the passphrase you have used to encrypt your private SSH key. Okay, the one that I've used when I launched the program, the command SSH keygen. Here we are, and it takes a while because of the repo is a bit big. I will try to clean it up. And since I've used this minus minus recursive, you see I also uploading the submodules. Submodules are just parts of the repository that are linked to external software that I use during in the examples and during lectures. Okay. Okay. Sorry. For each submodule, it will ask the first time the passphrase with a bit pain, but now it's finished. Because each submodule is a different Git repo, and so the first time it will ask you the passphrase. Is receiving object quick bit slowly. I don't know why. Maybe I have an internet connection not very good, or somebody else in my home is using internet. Sorry about this delay. It's taking a bit longer than expected, but let's wait. Well, in the meantime, I may. Now it's going faster. Okay. Sorry, it was probably a problem with my network. Normally it is much faster. You see how it's going at a different speed. Sorry. letting you wait. I want 100%. Okay. Well, now this should be faster, huh? Normally it's very fast. Today it's slow. Okay. Ah, but it is small. Again. Okay. Whew. And now in Pax example, in the directory Pax examples, we have the examples. Okay? Later on, I will show you what you have to do if you have not loaded the keys on on the GitHub site. Okay, but so far so good. Now we have all the examples. All directories have got a README file, and the README is called README because you have to read it. Okay. Now I will not gonna open up all the README file. Are written in Markdown, so if you have an editor that supports Markdown, you're gonna see everything very nicely. There are all the instructions on what to do, and in particular, in the examples directory, you have the examples, and what the first thing you have to do to make to be able to work with the examples, apart reading the README and the content.md file. In this case, we have also a file where I describe the content in detail. You have to personalize the makefile. That is, the makefiles are the files with which the compilation process is controlled, and to be able to set up the makefiles for your machine, for your environment, you have to copy makefile.user and call it makefile.inc. Okay? And you have to edit makefile.inc. And in principle, if everything is installed correctly, you have only to change one line, maybe two. If you're using the modules as my assistant will explain you just have to change one line. Anyway, makefile.inc is commented thoroughly, so you have all the instruction on what you have to change. The line you have to change is very simple to do. You do pwd, that is print working directory, that prints this directory, the full name of this directory, that in my case is this one. You copy it, Control Shift G, okay, and then you edit with your preferred editor. I'm using Emacs, but you can use whatever you want. Your makefile.inc. Your Emacs is not coming with a graphical interface because I am in a sub-process, but it's not important. And here is the only line that in principle you have to change. Okay? So you change this and you insert the one you have just got from the pwd command. Okay, so this is the directory where this file is. Okay, nothing more than that. Maybe you have the Eigen library not in the module. If you use the modules, this is the only thing you have to do, because all of the other stuff is automatically obtained from the modules. So that's the only thing you have to do. Save the file. Okay, now we are ready. The next thing you have to do is to go to the source directory and compile the utilities. The utilities, as the name says, they are very nice utilities. I will describe some of them at the lecture. There is a README file where all of them are explained. The utilities needs to be compiled at the beginning because other examples use the utilities. So you need to install them in the directories where the other examples are able to find them. And so it's very simple. You just say make. Everything is compiled automatically. Okay. And then make install. Everything is now installed. Now you're ready. There is another set of directories of utilities that are used only by a few examples, but if you want, you can also compile these other set of utilities. These are very simple to install because these are only header files. There is nothing else. Make, install. If you want not only to test to install the utilities, these or the linear algebra one, but you also want to have an idea of how they work. In the case of the utilities, you just have to do make test. Okay, and it will compile all the tests, all in the same directory. While instead in the linear algebra, I put the test in another directory. Maybe I will do that also for the utilities. But anyway, with make test, you produce the test and then you can run them just to check if everything works fine. Okay. I have compiled with C++17 and not with C++20, but that may change because maybe I'm gonna change the makefile.user because now we are moving to C++20, even if we are not using, actually we're using only very few things of C++20 so far. Okay, that's everything you have to do. What I want now to finish up this video, I want to show you what you have to do if you do not want to insert your SSH keys on your GitHub site, or even if you do not want to use GitHub and you don't have a GitHub account. So let's remove everything here because I want to do it from scratch. If you don't want to have an account on GitHub for any reason, I don't know why, the only possibility is to clone the repository using HTTP protocol. So you do the same thing, but now choosing HTTPS. The problem is that if you use this protocol, you cannot use ---- recursive because the submodules have the SSH protocol. The address for the submodules, so that is this other Git repository that I'm using, they have been stored using the address with the SSH protocol. So what you can do is certainly clone the main repository, the one we all the examples handled directly by me and by Pasquale Africa, but not the submodules. And this is not nice because we need those submodules for some of the examples. So what you have to do is to go to Pax examples, and now we need to change submodules. We need to run change submodules URL to HTTPS, a little script that I made, and then install git submodules. These two little scripts have been made, and now you see everything is working. I'm getting all the submodules. I didn't explain last time what to do for the extras, for some of the submodules that are in the extras, the directories. I will do it now. And since this is taking a bit too long, I don't know why. I have a connection today that is not very. Okay, now it's going. Listen, let's do like that. This is my copy of the repository. So work Pax is a bit more complicated, but we are going in the same places. Okay, extras. Okay. So here we have some extras, and 3 of them are submodules. JSON, that is a JSON reader for JSON file, MooParser and MooParser X, that are 2 parsers. Okay. Now, it could be interesting to install also them beforehand, because in some examples I'm using MooParser, in some example I'm using this JSON, and if you do not have it installed, it's a problem. So let's see how to do it. It's very simple. Again, here you have your readme.md, the original readme, but you also have a readme Pax that is a readme that I've added with some information concerning the implementation for the course. Okay, but to install, just do /install Pax. That's it. Done it. Then you want to install MooParser, you do the same. Then, if you're curious, you go into install Pax, and you see what it's doing. Okay, but here you see it's compiling a few files. Here is a bit longer because there are a few things to be compiled. But then it's finished installing, and then if you want to install MooParser X, I think you have understood what you have to do, install Pax. Okay, and everything is done. Okay, so here now you know a little bit of everything. You know how to install the repository on your machine. Forget about those warnings. This is bad. When I compile a code, I always activate all warnings, and here is just saying that this parameter is not used, but I cannot do anything about it. It's not my code; it's the code of the guy who is, or the people, guys and girls, that are developing MooParser X. So now you know everything to go on. Remember, readme.md are the files with instructions on the content, and sometimes you also have some LaTeX file that give further explanation on some of the examples. Let's have a look. Let's go to Heat Exchange. In Heat Exchange, you see you also have where is it? It's not here. Oh, here it is. Okay. the LaTeX file. If you want to see what that is a description of the example. In that case, I'm storing only the LaTeX file, so if you want the PDF file, you do a PDF LaTeX. But you can also do make heat exchange.pdf, and the make file should already know everything. Maybe you have to do it. Maybe some references are not correct, but that is not so important. And then you have your PDF file to print or to look on screen. Okay, with your favorite viewer, PDF viewer. So you have all the description. So not all the examples have got a text file with a detailed description of the examples. Some have only a README file. Have fun with the examples of the course.